How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back to yet another review. Some local fare. On today's Massive Beer Review in the form of Breaker Brewing's. It is their Peaches and Dreams Dreamcicle Northeast Style IPA. Breaker Brewing. Local to me. Done quite a bit of their reviews in the past. They just started canning a couple of months ago. I've been pumping out the cans. And yeah, it does not suck. This is their latest iteration. It was given to me by Chris. Thank you very much, Chris. Dropped off some beer from him. He gave me some beer. Just the way the world should work. Anyway, as far as what it says on this can, it says here, Dreamcicle. Northeast India Pale Ale, dry hopped and conditioned on fruit and milk sugar. They do this kind of, only you can prevent hop fade with this little hop dude that's kind of weird there. And on the side, canned January 24th, 2018. This is the 30th. And we have Peaches and Dreams. It's a 6.4% ABV beer. And that be that. Label-wise, kind of don't like it. It just doesn't work for me, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just, yeah. Just kind of like, it's trying to be kind of like too kind of weird, kind of like tired handsy, kind of something or other. I don't know, but it just doesn't work for me. So, but it's not about what's on the can, it's about what's in the can. So, let's see what this has to offer. Okay. So, let's see. First things first, pinky finger. You know, just off weight head. Okay, creaminess on top. Pretty tight compact bubbles. And you got a soft, kind of hazy carbonation kind of going on in there. And, yeah, it looks like a Northeast IPA, let's put it that way. So, definitely has the looks on lock. Let's see what the nose has to offer. You get this big, bright greenness. It's not like a super dank, like super deep, super rich, kind of disgusting kind of greenness. It's more of a kind of bright, vibrant, fresh kind of greenness. You get a little bit of that kind of lactose-y sweetiness in there. Peaches, you get a fruit peachiness, but it comes off more like peach ringy and like fruited. I think that's a combination that kind of like lactose and peaches kind of working together. It's like kind of like almost like a confectionery kind of peach as opposed to like a fresh kind of peachiness. So yeah, actually smells pretty interesting. Let's dive in. Cheers. It's kind of fun. Fun in a very sweet way. You're getting lactose, a ton of it. To the point where it's like so sweet, it's almost like too sweet, but it just falls short of being too sweet for me. You do definitely get that kind of peach vibes from it, but again, it's more a combination of that peach with that lactose. It just comes off like peach ringy as opposed to kind of fresh peaches. There's that super bright, almost like super fresh, stingy kind of hop thing going on. It's green, but it's not super green. It's more of like a really, for the lack of better definition, it's like if hops had a bite to it. It's super short. It's like a bee sting of hops, as opposed to this big, huge chomp out of hops. And it's just, it's bright, it's green, it's quick, and it's defined. It's not as big and just kind of washes over your mouth with this big, huge, danky greenness. It's just kind of like green, and then it's kind of, it's there, but it's like two-dimensional, if that makes any sense. Nice mouthfeel. Nice carbonation. It's a fun beer. It's starting to get a little bit too sweet for me for each sip I take. Just getting a little bit too sweet. Milk sugar is probably a little bit too heavy-handed for my liking, but it's not bad. It's a fun beer, but how do I say this? I like when you give me a dabble of lactose, just to give me a little kind of uniqueness in the sweetness outside of your malt sweetness. It tastes like all the sweetness in here is derived from that lactose. And I like my peaches to kind of be organic. kind of come from the hops. Give me the peach flavor from the hops. Don't give me the peach flavors from the fruit or whatever other means they're kind of getting out of here. You kind of taste the fruit flavor and the sweetness are not coming from the beer. There's beers that give you a ton of kind of peach flavor and a ton of kind of nice sweetness, and it's more kind of either from the beer, and if you're using kind of peaches and you're using that lactose, it's kind of like a secondary thing, something to kind of just kick it up just a notch, where it feels like those two things in here, that milk sugar and that peach, is what's driving the beer. It's like the beer's way behind it. There's several levels behind it. So it's just kind of that thing where it's like it's getting further away from beer. Is it a bad thing? No. I mean, experimentation and dealing with different things and trying different things is fun. But it also reminds me of like cooks or anybody who gets infatuated with something. And, I've seen it, I used to work in the tattoo world. They get like obsessed with a certain style, or cooks who get obsessed with certain cooking kind of ingredient or something like that, where you kind of lose sight of the core of the subject, and the subject is beer. And there's so much other things going on in this, it kind of like the beer's secondary. That's kind of a bummer. It's still tasty. It's still fun. It's just definitely something I'd like to share with somebody as opposed to drinking a whole can by myself. It's definitely something I wouldn't drink, a whole can, preferably not multiples in one sitting. Would I like for a 4-pack of it to kind of sip on every now and then when friends come over is just kind of like a change up? Absolutely. But it's not a chugger or a drinker. Let's put it that way. At least for me. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better NEIPAs, as they call it, that I've had as of late. Lactose-laden ones, maybe we kind of pigeonhole it in that. On the outside looking at it, just, again, the beer is kind of secondary here, and that's kind of a bummer. Value availability, it's Breaker. Their prices are probably going to be $16, $17, give or take a kind of 4-pack. That's market value for stuff nowadays, unfortunately. And they do have it. They do releases for it, but I know their stuff can sit around for at least a couple days, so it can be had and leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like lactose and peaches. If you like peach rings. And if you like the kind of, your hops to come off not super bitter, and it's just something to be a bit more confectionery, a bit more kind of sweet as opposed to kind of more beer-like. It's a fun beer, like I said. I'm enjoying it. I like it, but a whole can to my head would probably be a bit too much. But all in all, a fun offering. And if you like, breweries trying to do interesting things, and that's what Breaker is doing ultimately, definitely worth checking out. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there, Words and Stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tap. Massive Beers. All 4 of those places. The other side of things, podcasting world, much different than this world. A lot of different content. Beer Massive. MASSIF. Go check that out. Or go to your favorite podcasting app and type in Beer Massive and listen to me yammer some more. And there you go. Another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little peaches and cream right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.